President welcome. The assembly is gathered. Let the ceremony begin.
Thank you, Grand Marshal. Please be seated.
President welcome.
Honored graduates, distinguished stage participants, community leaders, families, and friends of graduates, I am Danielle Wilkin, President of the University, and it is my highest honor to welcome you to University of Bridgeport's 113th commencement ceremony. This morning, we will confer 521 undergraduate degrees in a wide range of majors and professions. And this afternoon, we will confer another 326 graduate degrees. We will also celebrate today's graduates in all of our programs who completed their degrees and were conferred in August and December of 2022. This morning, we also confer the Doctorate of Humane Letters to our commencement speaker, Dr. Tricia Bailey, and to the legendary college basketball coach, Jim Calhoun. This afternoon, we will confer the Doctorate of Humane Letters of philanthropist George and Carol Bauer. Now, please join us for the national anthem, followed by the hymn of freedom, Lift Every Voice and Sing. I invite you to rise.
For
Please be seated. So one of the fun parts about my job is today and the honor of being able to speak to you. So the first thing I want to say is thank you so much for being an amazing class. And obviously, whatever your belief system is, the universe believes that you're an amazing group of people as well, because the last month of Saturdays has been windswept typhoon rain, and you guys have the most incredible weather today. So the world is shining on you today. Thank you. Who's glad to be done with finals? So I have to tell you, being very honest, I have been feeling writer's block all week long about today, and just struggling to figure out what I wanted to say to you, what profound presidential words I was going to have for you today. And I decided I was not going to have my president hat on. And instead, for those of you who know me, I am the mom of two teenagers, and you all are my kids as much as they are. And so I'm going to talk to you today, and this is my mom love letter to this year's graduation class. What does today mean? You graduated, and we are so very proud of you. With graduation, you have learned skills and knowledge that other people don't have. Our engineers know how to build things. Our dental hygienists know how to take care of everybody else's teeth. Our psychology majors can tell you why we do the silly things that we do and help us get better. Our music majors can create the incredible music that they just created now. You are more than just your degree, though. You have learned grit, determination, resilience, and problem solving through your sports, through your labs, through your classrooms discussions, from listening to your coaches and talking to your faculty and learning from your fellow classmates. You've learned how to be effective communicators, both in writing and in word. You've learned to solve new problems, and the growth was in the struggle. With all of that comes privilege. What will you do with your privilege? How will you improve the world? How will you improve the human condition? What will you build? What will you create? What will you share? I hope it doesn't stop here. I know today is exciting, but I also know that you're a little worried and a little sad at the same time. You're leaving things that you know. It's time for some of you to begin adulting. You may be applying for your first professional job and you're worried about your interview and your resume. You might be getting your apartment or a house for the first time. You may be applying for your first car loan. Know that as you take on all these challenges, your family is still here, and we love you very much. We will not be with you every day, but we will be with you always in the place that matters the most, in your heart and in ours. UB will always be with you, as the family and friends around you will always be with you. All of us cannot wait to see what you accomplish. Congratulations. I know they're taking photos of me. I got to put the president hat back on. Okay. At this time, we would like to recognize the awesome UB faculty, without whom our student accomplishments would not have been possible. With the faculty on the stage, on the floor, in the audience, and those faculty serving as marshals, please rise and be recognized. You have done an excellent job educating our faculty, our students. Okay, maybe educating each other too, but we would like to also acknowledge the hard work of our you guys can sit. It's gonna be a long day. We'd also like to acknowledge the hard work of our volunteers who have made this such a special event. This is a huge ceremony and it takes a lot of work and effort. Would our volunteers please stand to be recognized? Next, I would like to recognize our Golden Knights, who by wearing their golden regalia show that they graduated from UB 50 years ago in the class of 1973. I ask the Golden Knights to stand and be recognized. Catherine Branco, Brady Frank, Lionel Frank, Kenneth Graham, Martin Gross, Daniel Stevens, Mary Warren. We are delighted to have you with us to celebrate this 113th commencement. Please join me in recognizing our Golden Knights, the graduates of 1973. They are the living proof that you will always be a part of the UB family. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce Ann Clark, Chair of the Board of Trustees at the University of Bridgeport.
Hello. I am so happy to be here representing the Board of Trustees at the University of Bridgeport, half of whom are alumni of the University of Bridgeport. We listen to you. We will always listen to you. And as is evidenced by the fact that we're still listening to you from their perspective of what it was like when they were here on campus, the pride that they have in that accomplishment, and I know that that's something that will extend to you as well. And congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. I would like to now call up Mayor Ganem, the Mayor of Bridgeport.
Diane, thanks so much. And to all that are here, first, congratulations once again to all of you sitting here as the class of 2023. Let's give another round of applause. So let me say that it is my distinct and personal privilege and pleasure to join you. I try, and I think every year, have come to UB's graduation, but I tell you, it's kind of hard not to just pause and see 113th commencement ceremony, another for the university and its great tradition. Thank you to all. Give a round of applause to UB 113th. I am also a graduate of UB, as are a number of my siblings, but to the parents, I take special pride in the fact that a few years ago when I was asked to say a couple words and to bring greetings, my daughter sat in the audience and swore that I couldn't even acknowledge her, give her a shout out from here, let anybody know she was graduating. But it didn't stop me as a father, as a parent, as a relative to appreciate and to cherish the moment of the graduation as each of you are doing today. Godspeed to each of you as you take over now. You step out and take over the world. Do whatever. You've got the foundation. Go do it. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Mayor Ganem. It is now my honor to introduce the Honorable Richard Blumenthal, United States Senator for Connecticut.
Thank you so much. I am Richard Blumenthal, your United States Senator, here with a broken leg. But not even a broken leg could keep me away today. I'm really honored to be here today. You know, University of Bridgeport and Goodwin, the combination, the partnership, one of the great success stories in American education. Thank you to Danielle Wilkin and Mark Scheinberg for your leadership in bringing these two great schools together. And I want to say congratulations to this class, but I also want to say you didn't get here on your own. How about these folks in the audience? How about a round of applause for for your family, your parents, your loved ones, your friends. I'm especially honored to be here today with Coach Calhoun and Tricia Bailey, two extraordinarily distinguished recipients of honorary degrees. You know, Coach Calhoun, I marched in your victory parades, and the last Husky championship parade I marched in was when I broke my leg. I was doing fine when you were coach. We want you back. Let me say also a word of thanks to all of the veterans who are here today, all of the men and women who have served in our armed forces. If you could just raise your hand so we can thank you. Thank you for your patriotism, your courage, your fight. Just raise your hand so we can thank you. And finally, to this class, you know, you started during the pandemic. We have seen since then the word epidemic become commonplace in our vocabulary. The gun violence epidemic, the opioid epidemic. The Surgeon General just this week said this country is going through an epidemic of loneliness. You have fought through those challenges with resilience and resolve, courage and determination. And you've been a model for yourselves and others. You've offered a helping hand to each other, and you have never backed down. You have never backed down from those challenges. I think you have the makings of the next greatest generation. And so to each and every one of you, continue helping each other with kindness and courage, and continue in the struggle to keep the compact that every generation makes with the one to come, to leave the world and our great country a little bit better for your having been here. Congratulations, Godspeed, and go get 'em. Thank you.
Apparently, I broke the stand. All right, here we go. It is now my pleasure to introduce our student speaker, Kiana Edith Robinson, graduating with her Bachelor of Science in Accounting. Kiana?
Hello, class of 2023. I just want to start by congratulating us all. My name is Kiana Robinson, and I am honored to be your commencement speaker. Many of you have probably seen me around in class, at events, or at least seen my posters on the wall, hopefully. I was proudly the vice president of the accounting club, chief financial officer of the Student Government Association, a community assistant in the residential halls, and was a student voice on the University of Bridgeport's budget committee. During my time at UB, I was given the chance to make a difference and to make a change. Throughout my semesters at this university, I was constantly reminded of the post-pandemic culture that this school carried. How we had cheerleaders at games, sororities and fraternities, so many clubs that you would lose count. But like many of our experience, it was masks up, stay back, no visitors allowed. Sports teams had their seasons canceled, off-campus trips were off the table, and Zoom was our #1 used application. We have all yearned to know and experience these post-pandemic traditions, but instead, we made our own. We made new traditions. We did something more than follow in line with what the classes and generations did before us. We grew our own culture. We adapted and changed to learn how to live in an online world. We learned how to still make personal connections with those around us. We might have lost some buildings like Cooper and Bodine, but we never lost sight of building our community back up. When I think of the University of Bridgeport, I don't just think of some small school at the edge of Park Ave. I think of the endless possibilities as I stare out into the Long Island Sound. I started my first year in Sealy Hall, staring out the lobby window as I ate my marina, to go, watching the sunset, thinking, yes, another day done, another day closer to graduating and becoming who I wanted to be. But who did I even want to be? Little did I know that I wish I still had some time to stare out that window to watch the sunset, because next year and every year after, it was tucking myself in bed as I watched the sun rise. Every late night, every group project, every event I planned, I told myself it was going to be worth it. It is going to pay off. You will be successful in everything that you dreamed of. And honestly, it hasn't even hit me that this is what I dreamed of. This moment right here is the moment that I've been waiting for. And I have been continuing to push myself to be right here wearing this cap, sharing my experience. Did you ever think that you would be sitting in the seat that you are in the middle of Bridgeport on a Saturday, in the newly built amphitheater, hearing me trying to come up with something motivational to say, to try and move you further through your path and to not stop chasing your dreams no matter how grand and no matter your age? Well, me either. Truthfully, I sat and wrote this speech over and over, trying to find the right words to say, trying to get something to be substantial enough for you all to take on to your new chapter. But I honestly believe every single one of us has that fire already in us. Every connection that I have made and every person that I have met didn't come to the University of Bridgeport for no reason. Whether it was to be the first person in your family to graduate, to play the sport you love, to break out of your shell and be someone you never thought you could be, or to just get your degree. We all came here to build better character. There might have been those days you debated if it was worth it or not, and trust me, I've been there. There might have been some regrets, there might have been some mistakes, but through the thick and thin, we came out warriors. We are all fighting our own battles, trying to find that motivation to keep going. We turn to friends, family, mentors, significant others, but what voice do we listen to the most? Our own. We are the only thing holding us back. You are the only one that has a say in what you do with your life. It's up to you whether you get out of bed and you want to slay the day, but it's also up to you if you want to stay in bed and you lay. The University of Bridgeport is a family, and I'm not saying it in the cliche way, we are all a family because we all had the same teachers and graduated from the same place or ate at the same cafeteria. I'm saying it because all the ones in administration make an effort for their students to know who they are. I have met so many people from this university that I never thought I would meet. I have been invited to meet all the deans. I had lunch in the president's house near University Hall. I was even on the top floor of the library, inside the CFO's office. I've met with the assistant provost, the provost, and even got invited out on a retreat to meet the board of trustees. Wow. Not to mention, most of the security guards know my name, and don't worry, it's not for anything bad, like parking too close to the crosswalk, and I know many of us have gotten a nice ticket for that one. But my point is, these wonderful people care about every single one of us. Most of the time, they aren't leaving at 5, they're coming earlier than 9, and why? Because all of them want their students to feel like they belong. We matter. We matter to the faculty, we matter to the other students, we matter to our families, but most importantly, we matter to ourselves. You couldn't have done this without yourself. The little voice in your head isn't your conscience, it's you. Remember when you were 10 years old and wanted to be a NASCAR driver, or an astronaut, pilot? Maybe you wanted to be a superhero or a princess. Do you remember how passionate you were? Dressed up and walked around the house saying, "Mommy, Daddy, look, one day I will save the world." You might have think that you grew out of that, and because your aspirations are to be an accountant instead of a princess, that you lost that devotion. It was too unrealistic or a fantasy, so you just gave it up. You might have changed your mind on your career, but you didn't lose that drive to follow your dreams. You know how people say, do it for your family or do it for your community or whatever they say, but when you really think about it, You're doing it for that little you in your head that's been cheering, Lightning McQueen! And I hope somebody gets that reference. As I wrap this up, that is just something I struggled with. I've always wanted to make myself proud and accomplish things that I was never expected to accomplish. I wanted to be the voice for those who had a hard time finding it. I wanted to implement the change that was wanted by the small talk in the bathrooms, or concerns that were expressed with frustration in the halls. I wanted to be enough for the little girl I once was. I want her to see me now and think, wow, that's me? Maybe being an accountant is cool. I'm just kidding, but in all seriousness, you write your own book. And as we close this volume and make room for the sequel, remember that you're the author of that one too. If you don't like how your storyline is going, hit the backspace and start over. We have many more years left to edit, revise, and publish. And with that being said, let's close our books for the final time. Join in with me if you know it. UB. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiana, for your remarks and all that you and your classmates have contributed to the university. I now call upon Provost Manuel Im to recognize the university leadership on the stage.
Good morning. I appreciate Kiana's speech in particular because as I introduce members on the stage who are the key leaders at the University of Bridgeport, it's important for you to know that we think of our leadership as service to you and to the UB community at large. And so we are your servers. How may we help you? That's the way that we believe we do our jobs best. So let me just point out who is up on stage among the leadership, and they can just raise their hands and be recognized. We have our school directors, and we have our faculty senate leaders. We have our academic deans, the board of trustees, the dean of students, and the president's cabinet. Let's give them all a big hand.
Thank you. We will now confer the Doctorate of Humane Letters honoris causa upon James Calhoun, otherwise affectionately known as Coach Jim Calhoun. I call upon Board of Trustees Chair Ann Clark and Assistant Provost Jaria Aljo to escort the honoree to the podium. And I'm going to ask Provost Manuel Im to read the citation.
Thank you, President Wilkin. Coach Calhoun, you were born and raised in Braintree, Massachusetts. After your father passed away from a heart attack, you were 15 and you were left to take care of your large family that included 5 siblings. You received a basketball scholarship to Lowell State, but only attended school 3 months, after which you returned home to help support your mother and siblings, working odd jobs. Eventually, you returned to college, and you were given another basketball scholarship, but this time with the American International College. You graduated with a bachelor's degree in sociology. These obstacles and challenges only made you stronger. Your coaching career has spanned 53 years plus, beginning as a high school coach at Old Lyme High School, then accepting a position at Dedham High School, and you, at Dedham High School, you achieved a perfect 18-0 season, and you won the Massachusetts High School Bay State Championship. From there, you went on to a legendary college career, coaching at Northeastern University, the University of Connecticut, and then St. Joseph's College. You are best known for your tenure as head coach of the University of Connecticut men's basketball team. Your awards and honors are numerous and well-deserved. As a coach at UConn, you led your team to 3 NCAA division tournaments. You took your team to the NCAA regional finals 4 times, the Big East tournament 7 times, and won the Big East regular season 10 times. You have been awarded numerous awards for coaching, including the John R. Wooden Legends of Coaching Award, the API, the Associated Press Coach of the Year, the UPI Coach of the Year, and numerous other Coaches of the Year awards. You are one of the most recognized faces representing Connecticut nationwide for your coaching career. You bring to the University of Bridgeport your charismatic, energetic spirit, your generosity, and the lifetime of preparing young people for greatness. We hope that you will inspire our graduating students as well as our faculty and staff. You are a proven leader and a role model for us all. Madam President, I present the candidate James A. Calhoun for high honors.
James A. Calhoun, under the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges thereto appertaining. In recognition thereof, I ask Ann Clark and Assistant and Juria to present you with your doctoral hood, which they have done. I'd like to turn it over to you. Thank you.
Good morning, and it's my pleasure and honor. I know you guys hear that every day, but it's my pleasure and honor to receive this honorary degree. I have fond memories of Bridgeport when we played in basketball and we had a riot afterwards. I think I might have started it. I think I yelled at somebody, but I have this little piece of paper. Trust me, it's for your benefit. It keeps me sharp. I'm happy to be here because I'm here with young people and their families on a very, very special day. As indicated already, I lost my dad when I was young. I had to quit school. We had a full scholarship and worked as a stone cutter for 2 years. Didn't go to college until I was after 20. Learned a lot of lessons. And I want to try to tell you, as you go out, like I tell Kimball Walker or Ray Allen, some of the great players I've had, same things about life and my sons and my family, because not only am I proud to be here, honored to be here, honored to receive this degree, but a little bit envious of you. You got the whole deal out there in front of you. It's going to be special. I sound like I'm recruiting. I am a little bit. You know, a couple things. Life, when you leave here, is not about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. See, people are going to react to not what you say, but what you do. Make sure that creation is in the image that you want. You know, I always tell my people that self-fulfilling prophecies do come true. For example, you know, whatever you think you are, you're probably right. So as you leave here today, hopefully give some hugs, kisses to those loved ones. Thanks to Bridgeport. Make sure, just make sure that you understand where you want to be, where you want to go, and the most important lesson, how to get there. You know, you've already been, in some ways, socialized in an urban environment in a school that has had over 80 countries represented in their enrollment. You've seen the real world down here. 75% of you are first-generation degree holders. Once again, your story doesn't sound all that dissimilar from me. But what I'd really like you to do, if you could, is every single day that you get up, win the day. I will tell you, during those 2 years, I was a stone cutter. At first, I was bitter. Why me? Why do I have to do this? You know what I found out? That is wasted. If I won the day, it might be reading more, working out, studying, getting myself back to college, getting myself on a track I needed to go. So I try to win every single day. And you say, what does that mean? Well, if you win a Tuesday, Wednesday's not that bad. If you win a week, pretty good. A month, terrific. A year, you've had a hell of a year. So try to think about every single day winning that day. Couple other things, and then I'm going to make sure that you get to where you want. Me getting out of here and someone else speaking so you can go do what you want. Important. Make sure you listen. God must have had some idea because he gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Think about it. He was thinking of something. You know what's amazing I found out? You actually learn a lot if you listen. Find your strength. Coaching for 55 years in higher education and a little bit in high school, I loved it. I found my strength, my passion. I didn't never went to work. I went to school. I was with my team. I was with my university. Risk it. Do never be afraid to fail. You know what failing is? Not doing it. When I took the Yukon job, everybody said, no, they keep losing. Yeah, that's in the past. That's in the past. Risk it. The failure is not doing it. Define happiness. I loved what I did. I retired after a lot of years, then come back and play Coach St. Joseph's. Why? Because I loved it, and I missed it, and I miss those relationships. So as you leave here today, make sure you are going to create your own person, your own image. And I want to personally say congratulations of how you got here thus far, and go give it hell. Thank you.
The trustees of the university, by virtue of the authority vested in them, confer upon James A. Calhoun the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, together with the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining to that degree, and the trustees grant this diploma as evidence thereof. Given at the University of Bridgeport, May 6, 2023.
Thank you, Coach. We will now confer the Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa upon our commencement speaker, Dr. Tricia Bailey. I call upon Ann Clark and Juria Aljo to escort the honoree to the podium. And I ask Provost Manuel Im to read the citation.
Thank you, President Wilkin. Dr. Tricia Bailey, you immigrated from Jamaica to the U.S. at the young age of 13. Carrying with you the hopes and dreams of your family. You encountered and overcame challenges, obstacles, and difficult times, but they just made you stronger. You were the first to graduate from college in your family, earning your bachelor's degree from the University of Connecticut in 1999. You next earned your master's degree in business administration and went on to earn your doctorate in management in organizational leadership. During those early college years, you excelled in track as a star athlete. You are a powerful and influential force in all you attempt and do. You bring purpose and leadership to your many endeavors. You're a phenomenal mother to your beautiful children. You are an exemplary example of the American dream. You work hard, you bring passion, grit, and kindness to all that you do. Dr. Bailey, you have founded and taken over the home medical equipment industry. You are the only Black woman executive in the business. You have established pharmaceutical and medical equipment facilities across the country. You have become a force in the real estate market, owning land and real estate across the United States and Jamaica. Recently, the University of Connecticut honored you by naming a state-of-the-art building after you, the Bailey Student Athlete Success Center, recognizing all the hard work that you've done, your accomplishments, dedication, and the passion that you pour into yourself and into others. President Wilkin, Dr. Tricia Bailey has been distinguished and recognized with many awards. She is a successful entrepreneur and dedicated to giving back to her communities. She's a proven leader and role model for our students as well. And with her energy, she's an inspiring symbol for positive change and generosity. President Wilkin, I am privileged to present to you Dr. Tricia Bailey for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you. Dr. Tricia Bailey, under the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I now confer you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. In recognition thereof, I ask Ann Clark and Jeria Aljo to present you with the doctoral hood. Presenting Dr. Bailey.
Woo! I am excited and elated and privileged and absolutely honored to be in front of you today. I would like to extend a thank you to my family, my children, and friends who are in the audience supporting me, as always. Thank you to UB Board of Trustees, esteemed members, President, Coach Calhoun, congratulations and your honor. I have admired you for so many years. Your leadership is absolutely remarkable. Graduates, family, 2023, you have done it. Graduates, it's an active activity. Turn to your right and tell your neighbor, you have done it. Turn to your next neighbor and tell them, you are filled with greatness. Now, for yourself, I want you to hear how excited you are. If you're as excited as I am here today, I want to feel it from your gut. As a young girl from Woodland, St. Elizabeth, Jamaica, I grew up with my cousins and my aunts and my sister. We had no resources. We had no electricity, no running water. The only thing that we had was our dreams. Dreams so big that no one else believed it. We had our imaginations. We walked 3.5 miles each way to school in the mountainous terrains of Woodland, St. Elizabeth. Some have shoes, some had food, some had none. But we had is our dreams, and we believed in ourselves. Standing here in front of you today, for me, it's absolutely remarkable. My mother said to me the other day, sometimes I look at you and I say, how good is God that He has brought you in this place? The struggles that you have faced in getting here today. Some of you had financial struggles and could not figure out how you're going to pay for the next semester. Some of you had a little party troubles. Party a little too much, you forgot you're in college. But it's okay because you made it here. Some of us falls off track. but it's how you pick yourself up to move forward is what really, really, really matters. And every single one of you that's sitting in front of me today, everything that you can ever imagine and everything that you could ever want belongs inside of your soul and your heart and your being. It is there, and it is for you to tap into that energy. Finding your purpose, finding the thing that gives you the greatest level of joy and happiness is where you are today. What am I going to do? Am I going to go to graduate school, or will I get a job? Will I move back with my parents? Will I stay in Connecticut, or will I move somewhere else in the country? All those questions that floats your mind, and you figure out, well, I'll celebrate today because today is my day. I may celebrate for the next week or so because I have earned this degree. I have earned this degree. Finding my purpose. I left University of Connecticut. I became a stockbroker. I was chasing money. Then I went to the pharmaceutical industry chasing money. But I never realized that it is when I found my purpose that the real money comes. In 2008, I was in a coma for 8 days. And while I was in this coma, I was in the most beautiful place that there is. I knew that I was not alive. I knew I was only in heaven. It was filled with peace. It was filled with pleasures. It was filled with tranquility and serenity. As I saw myself as a little girl in this coma, I didn't want to come back. But God said, I'm not ready for you yet. I have some plans for you. I have some people that I need you to touch their lives. I have some people that I need you to help. And when I came out this coma 8 days later, I was in California at the time, and I wanted so badly to be with my family because I was alone. I got on the airplane. I was in a wheelchair. I was wheelchair bound. My larynx was clipped, so you could not hear me speak. They placed me in the wheelchair. They transitioned me in Atlanta from the aircraft and placed me in a wheelchair to transition to my connecting flight. And they forgot that I was there. And for 2 hours, I sat there and I cried like a baby because I tried to get someone's attention, but no one saw me. And in that moment, I realized that the disabled was invisible to the world. And I knew that my purpose was to change the trajectory of how people need to be cared for. And after 2 hours, a young girl came close enough to me for me to scream, but it comes out as a whisper. And she helped me to transition to my connecting flight. And it's that moment that I realized that my purpose, the reason why God said, I don't want you right now, you need to go back to them. It is that moment I realized that my purpose was to help others. It is to put the greatest level of love that I can muster into every single person that I engage with. So what I have done with my life, I have chosen to be kind and loving and caring and giving to every single human, every single being who touches my life. And since I'm the only thing between you and your graduation walking on this stage, I will part with these words. I send you out into the world. Be kind and loving in every single thing that you do. Because when you are kind and loving to the world and to the universe, it will be multiplied and come back to you. Kindness and love, it's like a ball. You throw it on a concrete wall and it's going to come back. You throw it really, really hard and it comes back harder. You throw it with all your strength and it comes back even grander. And sometimes Humans may disappoint you, but the universe never will. It will always give you what you have injected into it. Be intentional in your efforts. Be intentional when you love. Be intentional when you're kind. Be intentional when you're working. Because when you are intentional with your efforts and you are giving it your maximum ability, what will naturally happen, you will discover who you are. And when you discover who you are, everything else flows. Once you are happy, work doesn't become work anymore. Caring doesn't become work anymore. Loving isn't work anymore because you are happy and you're given the recipe to the person who you engages with so that they can feel love, so that you can help them find their purpose. In July 2023, my autobiography, Unbroken, is released. And in this autobiography, you will find ways in which you can build your own empire, ways in which that you can build your own career, ways in which you can overcome struggles and triumphs. My autobiography name is Unbroken. The way I love, the way that I care, and the way that I give myself, that is exactly why I have remained unbroken.
University of Bridgeport honorary degree citation, Tricia Bailey. Dr. Tricia Bailey, you immigrated from Jamaica. Did she already read this? No, that's not what I'm supposed to be saying. Right? Is that the wrong thing?
We're just going to present.
Huh?
We're just going to shake hands.
All right.
Just shake their hands.
Thank you, Tricia. By the authority vested in the Board of Trustees, we confer upon you the degree of Honorary Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges thereof.
Who's ready to get their degree? Okay, one bit of housekeeping before I start having everybody do the next part. Who is wearing sassy shoes today? So I watched the parade of shoes and all the high heels as you guys were coming in. Please remember that you have to get up and down stairs and be super careful. There are cords up here, and the last thing we want is anybody to take a spill. So just be careful if you're wearing sassy shoes today. All right, here we go. We now proceed with the conferral of degrees in chorus. I will ask Provost Im to call forth the deans, who will call upon the candidates for the degree of class of 2023. Provost Im.
Thank you, President Wilkin. I believe the graduates from the College of Engineering, Business, and Education should move to the steps. I call upon Dean Khaled Elayathi to present the degree candidates from the College of Engineering, Business, and Education.
Will the candidates for the associate and bachelor degrees please come forward and be recognized? Madam President, I present the degree candidates from the College of Engineering, Business, and Education.
So you have to give me the cards.
Our first graduate from the School of Engineering deserves special mention. When he started University of Bridgeport, the #1 hit song in the United States was Surfin' USA by the Beach Boys 1 year before the Beatles had a #1 hit. He's completed his task of his degree this time. Daniel B. Abrams. Go right there. Go right there. Mohammed Saud Al-Khaldi. Abdulaziz Mohammed Al-Khaldi. Abdullah Falek Al-Khaldi. Amir Abdullah Al-Khaldi. Nasir Sharida Al-Khaldi. Mohammad Saleh Al-Budnif. Shantanu Naiharkar. Kiana Edith Robinson. Juan Barreto Rodriguez. Ajani Anderson. Edwin Camille. Oled Ahmed. Ajani Anderson. Yusafe Sisa. Edwin Camille. Joshua Dykstra. Richard Edwards. Syed Jansi Hussain. Ivan Jara. Jacob Johnson. Urinik Globachista. Alberto Labrada. Jacob Johnson. Danny Mai. Edgar Montero. Morgan Cobbs. Jolan Scudder. Tyreek Shields. James Zakhor. Eric Silva. Terrell Richards.
like to introduce the 2023 graduating students from the Ernest C. Trev School of Business. Franklin Kurime. Elise Vera. Barbara Hernandez. Shalisa Ballard. Jemima Dukas. Cynthia Egbenya. Lynn Orts. Laura Nasufi. Christina Krasnichi. Dawn Jett. Yolanda Franklin. Kimberly Rose. Samantha Sheeby. Tyler Solomon. Congratulations. How are you? Shane McCone. Tyler Sharfetz. Jason Giambra. I get it. Justin Nyardi. Lihan Yi. There you go. Jun Hao Lu. Oscar Carilla Rocca. Malik Kingsbury. Frank Esposito. Edwin Mafla. Lexi Fernandez. Amaya Casales. Sarah Actim. Victor Conde. Blaze Sababe. Robel Wode. David Torres. Say it again. Khalees Avente Jeter. Did I say it right? Alfonso Smith. Prince Dylan. DeAndre Collins. Jaden Cassimy. Leon Kennedy. Say it again. Musa Sila. Luke Downs Jr. Asa Doctor. Congratulations. Chardonnay Cleveland. Juliana Giuliani Godoy. Giuliani Godoy.
Thank you. I now call upon Dean Michael Chalfie to present the degree candidates from the College of Health Sciences.
Thank you, Provost Dim. Will the candidates for associate and bachelor degrees please come forward and be recognized? Madam President, it is my pleasure to present the degree candidates from the College of Health Sciences.
Introducing the Phone School of Dental Hygiene. Bianca Ponte.
She doesn't have a car?
I know the nurse. Anais Arrocho. Okay, I need your card. Thank you. Jessica Aversano. Do you have your card?
She doesn't have a car?
She didn't know. Jessica Brennan. Samantha Calval. Kimberly Giovanna Chiroy Lemus. Tajir Angel Cintron. Gabriel Decote. Peterson Desir. Itzel Diego. Angel Durant. Luisa Encarnacion. All right, Christy Exantis. Gabriela Ferrer. Akira Gadsden. Charity Gilmore. Nayad Guillen. Tatum Hill. Ariane Jenkins. Kira Kupiek. Ileana La Luz Sanchez. Christina Lefebvre Torres.
You know how to say my name.
Angelina Lateo. Tabitha Leto. Caroline Lima. Mallory Mancini. Jillian Marrero. Esther Martinez. Marissa Masella. Natasha Medina. Kathleen Mulhall. Nanaya Afori Bahome. Julia May Andesco. Marco Palencia. Neelam Patel. Chris Saskia Paul. Oh, goodness. Zainab Qureshi. Arismelba Rosario Osorio. Estefanía Salazar. Trevor Small. Sabrina Suarez. Madison Stegman. Macian Warren. Angelina Wu. Teresa Yogas. Rosamond Valsimond. Meadow Yvonne. Leslie Zeller.
I would like to introduce our graduates from the School of Nursing. Tamar Pierre. Brianna Hopkins. Willen Exantis. Allison Gomez Walker. Odalis Gordillo. Cece Gordilla. Dorada Braxator. Monica Boyarksa. Emile Flore Duca. Eden Elisa Jose Del Campo. Brianna Mino. Elizabeth Marie Zambrowski. Leslie Contreras Rosado. Grace Contreras Rosado. Melissa Breton. Gina Eltiero. Jessica McQuaid. Congratulations. Michaela Raffone. Alexandra Toth. Madison Mulcahy. Abigail Grace Jones. Jacob Anthony Russo. Congratulations, Brian. Brian Foley. Congratulations. Colby White. Brittany Petway. Rosalind Crespo. Congratulations. Mariana Mercedes. Farheen Vasanwahala. Kaylee Calderon. Ilian Rodriguez. Congratulations. Natalia Cardona. Congratulations. Jessica Nunez. Congratulations. Asamina Radoncic. Sydney Cologne. Kristen Rakia. Lucas Quinn. Shadeen Smith. Lakia Chantel Ann Brayboy. Shakra Nicholson. Sharika. No, Shihan Absar. Valeria Del Aguiala. Amanda Smith. Alyssa Reyes. Danica Plummer. Natasha Rivera. Peyton Coolbeth. Jessica Villegas. Jennifer Olavarria. Shirley Torres. Alexandra Cabrera. Eric Pinard. Salinu Amarajo. Tamaya Anderson. Karina Keller. Ashley Manaya. Jenna Dennis. Heather Lisinski. Anna Schul. Rachel McGinnis. Congratulations, Tyler. Tyler Nevers. Lindsay Safko. Jabari Bernard Fleming. Kameo Weir. Raquel Herrera. Ivana Watson. Tara Bruce. Christina De Jesus. Akimi Castillo Nakamura. Brittany Sanchez. Irianis Catoriella. Karina Rivadeneiro. Haley Martin. Wanda Camacho. Tao Nguyen. Jennifer Velez. You still nursing? Oh. Roldine Boa. Linda Francois. Edme Dominique. Shavon Diamond. Miley Diaz. Jordan Hernandez. Oh, Jocelyn, sorry, I need my glasses. Nicole Cardoza. Congratulations. Brianna Coporizzo.
Good morning. May I call up, please, the School of Health Professions, Health Sciences and Medical Lab Science. Please come to the podium. The School of Health Professions, Charles Ward. Pamela Simplice. School of Health Professions, Charles Ward. Tanira Myers. Anne-Marie Kale. Sumari Ali. Hi, Taylor. Taylor Yates. Ahmed Amanawi. Taylor Yates. Gotcha. Janice Wilkinson. Samuel Adu. Amber Walsh. Samuel Adu. Joanna Chambers. Amber Walsh. Rashay Wilson. Jasmine Kibler. Shannon Taylor Hall. Abla Afanuke. Jono Camano. Janaya Chastity Scott. Tamia Mathis. Daricia Nandine Watson. Tanari Rojas. Anastasia Austin. Rianne Williams. Shavana Finletter. Tahir Brandon. Roselane Kimberly Macias. Gabrielle Elizabeth Johnson. Leandro Encarcian Rodriguez. Christina Refspick. Jay Duarte Ventura. Brandon Chan. Sabrina Tran. Yes, I know, I met your dad. Bao Van Hung. Chastity Perez. Victoria Reeby. Nicora Dela Cruz. Susanna Franco. Jeremiah Andre. Tamika Hammond. Adam Smith. Miriam Derezo. Jimerez, okay. Christine Michelle Jimerez. Julia Victor. Jacqueline Leal. Emmanuel Otavaro Serna. Travis Perricone. Edgar Martinez. Sydney Snow. Delaney Maybeck. Louise Marsan. Telma Cabello.
Thank you. I now call upon Dean Kathleen Engelman to present the degree candidates from the College of Science and Society.
Will the candidates for the associate and bachelor's degrees please come forward and be recognized? Madam President, I present the degree candidates from the College of Science and Society.
Josiah Nieves. Latoya Deere. Shaniqua Harp. Michael Billica III. Viviana Arias. Jerry Feliciano. Kayla Targowski. Jenica Riley. Joseph Robles. Michelle Awad. Kenny Leonardo Rivera. Victoria Porter. Taylor Karen Chambers. Khadija Audia Morgan. Christy Philippe. Ariella Fountain Marshall. What's your last name? Natasha May. Denisha Johnson. Seda Ojan. Carly Zajac. Jared Nieves. Giovanni Gramajo. Dennis Juarez. Tyler Swaby. Jesse Clark. Lani Kingrashafone. Denise Serrana Nunez. Samaya Jackson. Kenneth Graham. Hannah Kirk. Hannah Kirk. Kedrum Williams. Rakisha Gregory. Kevin Roman. Casey Collins. Jason Thornley. Adib Youssef.
Andre Paul. Andre Paul, yeah. Thank you.
Andre Paul. Austin Viveras. Jamari Morgan. Derek Epps. Nicolene Dorstant. Timothy Prince. Tiffany Hines. Beatrice Blanc. Hadia Orr. Natalie Sanchez. Haley Turney.
Markeisha and Clouden. Kayana Charity. Jada Edmonds. Jacinia Bradshaw. Nia Robinson Tolbert. Thavia Naismith. Gracia D. Villavicencio. Vienna Knox. Teresa Kurazova. Michelle Cousins. Tammy Jacob. Amanda Lynn Jeffries. Jairo Uribe. Alicia Kobaz. Falone Farrell.
Rosa Terrell. Karina B. Tejeda. Allison Negron. Carrie Lucian. Stephanie Lewis. Carrie Lucian. Jessie Nova. Stephanie Lewis. Jana De Gale. Jessie Nova. I'm good. How are you? Denisha Smith. Alexandra Capel. Amber Brittany Bryan. Bridget Reddick. Sashoy Holness Hage. Stephanie Lozen. Shannon Hansen. Junice Boland. Jonas Stingham. Mia Esperanza Vasquez. Alexis Green.
Viviana Pintado. Taquan Gatchell. Nikosha Whittle. Lottie Sosa. Marilyn Flores. Marie Michelle Zamore. Brandy Alexandra Gibson Whipple. Kenya Brown. Shanta Fulgence. Rocio Brito. Aaliyah Tatiana Van Kuren. Congratulations. Thank you. Uloa? Diana Uloa.
Thank you. And now, will all the associate and bachelor degree candidates please rise? Madam President, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the colleges of the University of Bridgeport, I am honored to present these candidates for graduation.
Are you guys ready? With the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Bridgeport and the State of Connecticut Office of Higher Education, and upon these recommendations at the completion of the requirements specified, I now officially confer upon you the degrees for which you are presented as appropriate, with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. You are now graduated. Don't sit yet. I congratulate you as our newest alumni of the University of Bridgeport. Academic tradition now permits all those who have received their degrees to move their tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations, class of 2023. Now, I know a lot of you have decorated your hats, and you might want to keep your specific hat, but if you had a moment in which you might feel like throwing a hat, this would be it. Congratulations. You guys can sit when you're ready. So I also want to take a moment to recognize the journey, because you all have worked really hard. You've written the papers, you've done the exams, you've taken the lab practicals, you've completed your sports and all the requirements that were required of you. But there was a lot of help along the way. And I would like to take this opportunity to recognize the parents and the grandparents of all of our graduates. Would you please rise? I would also like to recognize any of the spouses that may be in the audience that did the laundry, cooked the dinners, and did the things that needed to be done. Could any spouses please rise? My guess is somewhere in the audience today we have some little ones. We have children who have given up mom and dad's time so that mom and dad could study. Can we have the children please rise? Can we have the aunts, the uncles, the brothers, the sisters, the friends, and all the people who carried us along the way? Please rise. At this time, I would like to call up Bill Moran, President of the Alumni Association, to welcome our newest grads.
Thank you, Dr. Wilkin. And now that you've gotten everybody excited, it's really great to be here and looking out at a bunch of very happy faces. I'm here as the president of the University of Bridgeport Alumni Association. So it's my great pleasure. I'm to be the first person to, first of all, congratulate you as alumni of the University of Bridgeport, and to welcome you all as to the University of Bridgeport Alumni Association. This is a new role for all of you, and it's one that I hope that you'll keep with you for the rest of your lives. Just as an example, that we have our Golden Knights behind us, 50 years of recognition and of the value of the education that they received from the university. Myself, I'm a Golden Knight wannabe. I graduated in 1974, so one more year. But to me, one thing that I'd like to really put to you is a small challenge. Now, maybe it's not so small. It's stay engaged. Stay engaged with the university. Don't just look back as something that happened back in 2023, but think of it as part of yourself and continue through the rest of your lives to be an alumni of the University of Bridgeport, be active, and participate as an alumni. We welcome you, we encourage you, and we want you to be here. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge our honorees, Dr. Tricia Bailey and Coach Jim Calhoun. You too are alumni of the University of Bridgeport. Our bylaws acknowledge that and recognize you as alumni as well. So thank you very much for your participation with us today. And thank you all, graduates of 2023, and welcome to the University of Bridgeport Alumni Association.
Thank you, Bill. As we close the ceremony, I would like to take the opportunity to thank our marshals, our readers, the members of the commencement committee, our volunteers, everyone who assisted with making this commencement memorable, and for all of you for attending. I would like to invite you all in joining Sing the Alma Mater, the words which are printed in your program, and I now ask that you stand for the Alma Mater, and you'll recess immediately following the stage. Grads, you'll be following the stage party when we leave. Thank you. Thank you, and that concludes this commencement. Congratulations, class of 2023.